have one with you? Yeah, pull it out. I'll tell you what would be relevant in that given book to what we're talking about now. Oh, here. Arabs in history. I look at the index. You find anything good in this book? It's superficial, but it's good enough. This guy advises the American government now. He's at Princeton. He advised them. He was a good friend of Chalabi. He advised Bush to attack Iraq. Arabia before Islam, yeah, we did that. Muhammad and the rise of Islam, we did that. The age of the conquest, we're doing that. The Arab kingdom, that's the Umayyad kingdom, we're doing that. The Islamic empire, we're doing that, which will be the Abbasid empire. So actually, the first 6 chapters right there. And under Islamic civilization will be all the other things that we're doing. So, the first 8 chapters or so, he's even got one, I think, the Arabs in Europe, 7, and we're probably doing that. That'll be mostly Spain and stuff. So actually, we're doing most of what he got in that book, just in different order. And the Give book, I think the Give book is better than that. What book have you got there? That Give?
Conquest. I think you said,
that's the Arabs. No, that's a different one. That's cultural. We're going to do that at the end. There's a Give book, Mohammedanism, which is really a good, tells about the 5 pillars of Islam, tells about the different schools of Islamic law. It's quite a good book. I think it's the best of the 3 books. Anyway, let's move on. So when the revolt finally did break out with all this disaffection, it actually was not under the family of Ali, because there were too many really enemies of Ali to make that a successful proposition. It came out under an obscure uncle of the Prophet, known as Abbas. Now, we don't even know that he was a very good Muslim to begin with. We don't know when he came into Islam. We've heard of several uncles of the Prophet. We've heard of Abu Talib. We've heard of Abu Lahab. And now we have another one, Abbas. And his name is not recorded in early Islam hardly at all. But that was a convenient banner to unify all the disaffected groups. The disaffected Arabs, the disaffected people from the Arabian Peninsula, the disaffected supporters of Ali, all the groups. And the banner was the family of the Prophet. Because Abbas is a family of the Prophet, but he's not a, Ali line per se. So under the banner of the family of the Prophet, not the son of the Prophet, or the son-in-law of the Prophet, or the direct descendants of the Prophet, but just a more general heading. The family of the Prophet, and as I said, I don't think Abbas was even a very good Muslim. It was a successful way to bring all the disaffected groups against the Umayyads into one contingent. I should mention one other name before I move on to there, and that's this Abdul Malik here. The other famous Umayyad caliph was Abdul Malik. He was the height of the Marwanid group. He was around 710, 711, that period of there. 716 maybe. I don't know, maybe it was 7 or 8 years that he reigned, but that was really the height of the Umayyad period, and he did all the great architectural work. He built the Umayyad Mosque in Damascus. He built the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem, which was an Umayyad mosque, the Dome of the Rock. And he built a beautiful palace in Jericho, which you can still go to visit today. And Abdul Malik was really, interested in cultural things, and distinguished himself for these kind of architectural and other fine cultural trappings of the Umayyad dynasty. The Umayyads, as I told you, were Arab taste, so they liked poetry, they liked singing, they liked hunting and all those sorts of things. And they also liked fine palaces, and they liked calligraphy and all the things that an Arab chieftain would even like today. In any case, These forces were organized under a more stern banner of the family of the Prophet, and the revolt, actually, when it happened, broke out in eastern part of the empire. It broke out, funnily enough, in Persia. In the eastern part of Persia, that even today is a very stern area of Persia, very deep Muslim. Khorasan is not an area you go into without, even when I traveled across Persia when I was young, your age, and hitchhiked across Persia back in the 60s, Khorasan was a place you stayed away from. It was really a very extremely pious area. In any case, the individual who raised this banner of revolt on the part of the Abbas and the Abbasids, made propaganda for them, came from out there. So it even had a Persian olive feel to it, even though it wasn't really a Persian olive group. I can't remember his name, but I think his name was Abu Muslim. But in any case, that may have been the name of one of the legal compilations. In any case, he had been a convert to Islam, and I think his family had all formerly been Buddhist priests when he was in previous generations. But he did the propaganda for them, and the revolt swept westwards from east. It broke out in 747, and by 748, 49, it had reached Damascus. It was so violent that the Umayyad graves were even ripped out of their, earthly sepulchres and overturned and thrown away. Everything Umayyad was stamped out. It was a very harsh revolt. And there were two brothers who were the descendants of this Abbas. Abbas had died long ago. This would be third, maybe fourth generation after him. One was, I think, called Jafar, and the other was called Al-Mansur. That was his nickname, the Conqueror, I think that would be something. These would be the new groups under the banner of Abbas, who was the uncle of the Prophet, and therefore they called themselves the Abbasids. And I said, I think their leader, the one who made the Prophet,